Lotarg, our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another Orc Mode workout. Today was max effort a lower day, so a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, it would be greatly appreciated. My first day back after a deload of real training. I did some stuff this weekend, lighter stuff in GBP and everything, kettlebell swings. And we never know how we're going to do after a deload. Sure enough, my low back cramped like crazy on this rep. This was not a max. It was heavy enough though, but my left side, my spinal erectors cramped. Now, this bar does do that to me, but it also tells me I need to go back and work on this bar a little bit for my speed boxes, right? And maybe I need to address what I'm doing a little different with my lower back. Although it could have been the kettlebell swings I did yesterday might have been a factor, but I had to stop there. I stopped at 445, and that's fine. I didn't expect to get a lot more than that off the deep box anyways. I didn't expect to make more than another 20-pound jump because it's a box well below parallel. So I dug the massager into my back for about 5 minutes afterwards, and it went away. So I was able to do my Romanian deadlifts just fine. I got my 405 for 3x10 on these, and I may go ahead and try to micro load these up. Now these sets of 10 are hard. Like, I don't know that I really have an 11th rep on the last set. I don't think I actually have a rep left, rep in reserve, but I might see if I can micro load these, right? Start just adding the 2.5 pound plates. Go up 2.5 pounds at a time and just try to work it up. You know, because this is relative to my overall strength. 3 sets of 10 on an RDL with 405 is pretty good. It's not like I need to get large increases on this to see some progress. Even if I just go up 10 pounds over just a little bit of time for 10s, that's good progression on a lift like this for me, because I'm at limit sets now. Although my other options, like I've said on a lot of these, I'm going to keep a lot of these lifts I'm doing in, and to have variations, I'll just swap chains and stuff on. I'll just run them with chains for a little while and see if I can progress with chains and pull the chains back off and go to straight weight. I think that's going to be a lot of what I'm going to do, because I like a lot of the exercises I've selected. I feel like I've made really good choices for all my weak links, what I want to emphasize. So I think the chains are going to be kind of the way to go. That way I can keep these movements. Although on some of it I can use different bars, like the different pressing, like the floor presses and stuff like that. But I think I might do a wave of speed work with that Cambered bar though, just to see how that feels on my low back. These were hard as always. I'm going to need to start micro loading them, right? For sets of 10, this has been really hard. This has been really hard. And it feels almost like my right leg feels like it's more difficult than my left, but it could be because I do the left first, even though I feel like my left leg is weaker. It's the fatigue accumulating, and I need to work on my GPP, because I'm really breathing hard on all these single leg movements, doing the 10 reps with each leg. I've got to get my GPP back up. I've only been doing list cardio. Not gonna lie, I've only been doing lists, and that's good for recovery. But now that I'm doing all this speed work again and all these 10 rep sets, particularly some of the lower body stuff, notice my breathing's getting pretty heavy. I need to get back into really good shape again. Back when I was doing over an hour of GPP every week, that worked wonders. And you know, I'm cutting, it'll be helpful anyways. Right, so I've started doing kettlebell swings already, and I think I need to start dragging my sled again 2 or 3 times a week. I want to get used to the kettlebell swings. I want a week or so at least of doing some kettlebell swings every day, just a little bit, just for some high reps to get my conditioning back up just a hair before I start dragging the sled again. But yeah, I think I need to start doing it in the near future, and I think that combination will work. I mean, I can always do farmer's walks also because I have farmer's walk handles. But I feel like just some kettlebell swings with my little 40 for real high reps combined with some sled drags, I think that will help with what I need to do. I think it'll help a lot. On the other hand, though, my quads got pretty lit from these. They got pretty lit up. But again, I do feel like I need to progress on this. It's just going to be really, really hard, especially with the 10 rep sets. But again, I got micro plates. I successfully completed all 3 sets of 10. I can try to add a micro plate. See if I can put another 2.5 pounds on next time, right? Try it out. Because I feel like I've got a little room to grow on these. The step-ups I feel completely spent. I feel like I can't progress on the step-ups though. They feel like they're 100% limit sets, and even with a lighter weight. So they're going to be harder to progress on. And that's okay. They're being done as a secondary isolateral leg movement anyways in each workout. Again, I'm trying to really hammer quads. So for those who haven't figured it out yet, quads and triceps are my biggest focus right now. Directly behind it is going to be delts and glutes. And then everything else is just getting balance training. I'm trying to get it, for every other muscle, just 12 good work sets a week is my goal, right? 12 quality work sets, which is in that optimal range. I'm putting my volume into these other things. This is where I feel like I really need to thicken up in that order, in that priority right now. And I know I have big quads. I feel like my quads have regressed. I feel like my quads were a lot bigger and stronger. I've got photos, I've got videos, I can look at other lifts, especially when I was squatting 600. My quads were bigger than they are now. So I've got to keep doing quad stuff, and I think the sled drags will help on top of that. I've got to bring them back up. I've got to get those quads back to where they were when I was at my strongest this year, in spite of the cutting, because I feel like they've been shrinking while I'm cutting. So I'm going to hit them harder. Glute bridges, I kind of struggle to get in position today. So a lot of them, you'll notice if I'm short stroking some of the reps here, it's because I've got to readjust my footing. I'm sliding on these really bad. Although this is the heaviest weight I've ever done tens with, I feel like I need to stick with this weight and work on getting more stable and not sliding so I can get quality reps for all 10 reps instead of a couple that are, a little short. So I need to stick with this weight. I'm not going to be able to increase it from here. I don't think. I need to get better with just this weight. So I'm not going to bump it again after this. I'm using 540. But again, I'm going to have to master this weight. I can't do another weight increase. So again, though, everything felt good on them. Everything felt good. And then after this, we did the step-ups. The step-ups were hard today. Now, my quads got super lit up from the split squats, but they didn't feel super hard. Like I did those, I'm like, I could probably add a microplate, right? I could add 2.5 pounds next workout. I can do that. These, it didn't feel like it. These were hard all the way through. Like I felt like I was having to rest, pause, and even cheat a little trying to get my last reps up. A lot of them I couldn't quite lock at the top, so on and so forth. These were hard today. But again, we did all that other leg work first. So again, these are really just finishing everything off from another angle. But because it's so deep into the workout and so much other leg work is usually done beforehand, it's going to be hard to progress on these. But again, we start looking at the relative strength and where it's at in terms of workload. I don't need to progress much. It's like if I can add 5 pounds to this over the course of 5 or 6 weeks for my tens on this, that's actually acceptable. Also, I weigh more at the moment, and I've got to factor that in. I just had a deload week. I always gain weight. For those curious, I put on about 15 pounds on every deload week. I come off my diet, and then I start cutting again. And yes, I've done this multiple times while losing 23 pounds. Right? I've done it 3 times. It's the third deload week where I've done that during my cut. And by the time I get around to it again, I will weigh less again. So since my body weight is still up a bit, that is also a factor. I'm going to see how that affects my chin-ups tomorrow. Might affect my chin-ups quite a bit. We'll see. I don't know. We'll find out when I get there. But I'm dropping weight, at least a pound a day after I do that. So usually it takes me up to 2 weeks after a deload week to drop any of the extra water I gained, and then the scale just keeps dropping. Then it's like 3 pounds of weight a week after that. So that's why I've done stuff like, come back 15 pounds heavier and then had a, whatever time and still managed to, cut 7 pounds in that time of total body weight. Because what ends up happening is that I drop 3 pounds a week after I drop the initial weight, because I'm running a very, very, very big deficit. And that's stuff I can talk about later too, of how I'm doing it and not getting hungry. Probably something I can discuss further. I'm probably not even eating what people think I'm eating. I see clowns in the comments who are like, oh, you're eating chicken and rice. I'm like, actually, as of now, I'm eating mostly fruit. So I'd say at the moment, I spend about $400 a month on groceries. I'm transitioning into more Greek yogurt and less meat, and I've been replacing my rice with fruit. And I don't get hungry. And I eat a lot of vegetables on top of it. I don't get hungry at all on like 2,500 calories, which is an enormous deficit for me. But the thing is, I feel full. It works. It works very, very well. And I get tons of nutrition to help with recovery. So over to this, snatch, grip, high pulls. I'm going to do them on all 4 workouts. I am going light and I'm focusing on really getting that bar up because I started messing with it. And by the way, I had someone who commented, and he was one of the reasons, because I've been thinking about it anyways, and he'd mentioned it in the comments. And then he like got snooty with me and said, or can't you just tell the truth? And it's like, well, if someone's going to accuse me of lying, I don't care if they've got some good things to say. I'm just going to ban them because you're a jackass. Why can't you not be a jackass? But because I've also talked with other people, and Christian Thibodeau and other people who are big on this. And for those who say, oh, you don't talk to Christian Thibodeau, really, he put my name in one of his articles last month. We talk. Good guy. I like him. Don't agree with everything, but we agree on probably 90%. Good guy. I like him. But so yeah, I'm trying to get these higher. They need to be above the nipple. They need to reach the upper chest. And my God, do they hit my delts harder? When I started messing with them like this over a week ago, just on off days a little bit, right before my deload, I'm like, wow, I feel my delts with 135 more than I was doing with the heavier weight. They light my delts up. So I'm going to micro load from here. These went pretty good with 135. So maybe next time I'll add a 2.5 pound plate, and I will just slowly add 2.5 pounds at a time. But I need to keep that bar height. That's the main thing. I need it reaching the upper chest. I need it to be explosive. And if grip becomes an issue, I think what I'll do, I'll start doing them in the rack where I can reset on pins to regrip. And I'm going to do them without straps. It'll help for additional grip training too. Right? I don't want to strap on them if I don't have to. The straps actually make them harder to do for me. They're really annoying with that wide grip. All right. Glute ham raises against a blue band, which is a 25-pound band. These made my quads cramp a little bit today. These were tough. They were tough. Not gonna lie. They were hard. And again, I had to kind of walk it off a little bit after each set so that I couldn't sit down because my hamstrings were going to cramp. But again, it's that tension it puts at the top. It's that tension at the top. And that band just, it makes these harder and awkward. If you haven't done these against bands, try it on the hardest setting that you can do, which I'm at the hardest setting I can fit inside the thing on. Do these with even a light band. I think you'll be shocked at how they feel. It's different, but I like it. Again, it's adding a different training response, and it's a novel stimulus. So I'm going to run them with bands for a little while, right? Because again, it puts more tension to the top where we're normally unloaded. And I mean, it cuts reps off big time because I can do like 20 reps with my body weight on this setting. I can do sets of 20, but 10s are hard. I'm grinding at the end. I think like the last set coming up, I had to pretty much grind the last couple reps. I had to rest pause them just to get to 10 with this. So again, it's challenging. And again, it hits the hamstrings a little differently. And this is arguably, because I don't like the word best. There is no best exercise. This is arguably the best overall hamstring developer, particularly combined with a stretch reflex movement, right? Like the RDL or a good morning, because again, there's a synergy between them. So again, we can never say one exercise is the best. This is a pretty damn good exercise though. We could argue no matter how you break it down, top 3 for hamstring development. Bands just add a different element to it. And they will give you DOMs. Be very, very careful if you're going to use bands on this. Pepper thine Angus. All right, very little time left to discuss this. I decided to really try strict reverse hypers, where I try to squeeze at the top, try to control the inertia. I'm even stopping in the middle of the set to stop any swinging from happening. And it hit my low back a lot harder, right? Because I'm trying to squeeze my glutes at the top, and the result is that it ends up just squeezing the low back, right? And I don't feel the hamstring and stuff as much on these. When I do the swinging with the 500 pounds, where I'm swinging more for all those sets of 25, I feel more hamstring. I do feel a lot of hamstring. I notice on this I don't feel any hamstring, but I feel my lower back engage a lot harder, even with this little lightweight 180 pounds. So I'm going to mess with these. I'm going to treat them as a stricter movement for a while, just because I want a different training effect. I feel like I've gotten all I can get out of the other. I'm not really progressing on it. So I want to change this over, do sets of 10, and just get as strong as I can on these 10 rep sets while squeezing at the top and controlling the swing completely. And it's a different response. Again, I'm surprised at how much more low back I felt. Even though I'm squeezing the glutes, it's really the low back where I'm feeling it, in the erectors, which again, I'm a little worried about my erectors after that. One of them cramped up on that bar. So again, this will probably be a good thing. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.